Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, sis, I think you're up first. What you got?
All right. So, I would just let you know now that two of mine are like,
Okay.
But then my third one is like, yes, go watch this.
Okay. Got it.
So
my which one are you starting with?
I'm gonna start with my.
Okay. Lovely.
Meh. All right. So, House Party.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Okay. So, House Party is it's a remake of the '90s House Party movie with Kid and Play.
Right.
Okay, so I had high expectations, which you should probably never do that.
I was going to say, why would you from the commercial?
Because I thought that it was going to be like I don't know, maybe I was thinking like nostalgia, like it was going to be,
Gotcha.
bits and pieces, like of the remake, but no, it wasn't at all. Whatsoever. I mean, they did do some stuff. You had the three brothers that were the
Oh yeah, the guys from Full Force.
Full Force, yeah. So they were on there, and then they had Roti.
Cult Jam. Was it Lisa Cult Jam or Full Force?
Yeah. It was Full Force. It was Full Force. Yeah.
Okay.
But they did do a little dance battle.
Oh, okay.
It was like 4 seconds.
Okay.
Wasn't
Did Kid and Play show up?
Yeah, with Illuminati.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It was just so much. Okay.
All right.
It's okay. It was so much. All right. Let me just go through the cast. All right. So the cast, we have Jacob Lattimore as Kevin. We have Tosin Cole playing Damon. Karen Obalum playing Venus. You have DC Youngfly. He's Vic. He's the DJ. And then there's like so many other people who are just like cameos in here. But another person that we do have is Melvin Gregg, which is hilarious. He's playing Larry. He's playing one of the three Full Force brothers. Alan Maldonado plays Kyle, and then you got Rotimi who plays Guile. Okay, so you have all the cameos is like Kid Cudi, Maya. You have Peter Santino, who is like the neighbor. It's hilarious. Bill Bellamy is in it. LeBron is in it. He's actually the
executive producer.
He was a producer, right? And they used his house.
Oh, his real house.
Yeah, it was his real house. Yeah. Let me see. They got some basketball players. Like you had Anthony Davis in there. I mean, it was a bunch of just people who just like were popped up in there that you haven't seen. Like it was just fun. They had Walter Jones, who was the Black Power Ranger. Why was he there? I don't know. But the Black Power Ranger was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you had Gator, Snoop Dogg was there. Juvenile did a performance in it. Tinashe's in it. I mean, it is a lot. Carl Anthony Payne. Carl, like from
I'm trying to remember
from Martin.
Oh,
Cole from Martin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Wayne is in it. Odell Beckham's in it. Mark Cuban's in it. Like I'm trying to say, everybody's in it. But then you do have Kid and Play who are actually both in it. Lena Waithe. I mean, it's so many people. Big Sean. I mean, everybody just like a cameo in this movie.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then
it's got like 50 people they had to pay for this movie. Probably.
Yeah, but then the other one that I said is like meh has like 500 people that they had to pay for cameos in that one. But just to go ahead and let you know, so like with LeBron, he's the producer and he's the actor in the movie.
Okay.
All right, and like I said, they did use his house. Allegedly, it's his house, but I don't know for sure. So it's two friends that work for a cleaning crew. And they are also party promoters. So when you have the three brothers who were like the bullies or whatever, they're supposed to be throwing a party for them. They get fired.
Okay.
Why did they get fired? Because supposedly Damon stole a necklace from some girl who's the three brothers' sister. Cousin.
Oh, okay.
So then it was like, all right, y'all fired because your man went ahead and like stole a necklace, and it was like, yo, what are you talking about? So they needed this money. All right, they need the money bad. So what did they do? They were like, all right, how do we try to figure out how to make our money back with like this, with us missing out on this party? Like they were like, all right, well we can do it like in my aunt's house, and it's like, but then it's just going to be the same thing we've done before. Then it was like, remember at my grandma's house when we did it at my grandma's house? I'm like, how are they doing these house parties at like somebody's little teeny tiny house?
Exactly.
I don't know, but Jacob Lattimore's his character, Kevin, has a daughter. So the whole time, all you hear is him talking about, I have to do something for my daughter. I have to do something for my daughter. Like, she can't go through this. She can't be without her dad. And then his best friend, Damon, is like, yeah, I got to do this for my goddaughter. And like, so they're just going on and on and on and on about that, of how they're trying to just do anything and everything, not for themselves, but for the little girl, which I thought was cute. Mm-hmm. So, once they get thrown off of that one house party, then, while they're cleaning, they go and clean this, like, celebrity's house. So while they're cleaning celebrity's house, they're walking around, and then they go into, like, this one room. And while they're in this room, it's like, the not the boss, but one of the girls who works with them calls and was like, y'all getting fired. Like, not now, but right now. Apparently they had smoked weed at another celebrity's house or something like that, and they caught it on camera.
Okay.
So now they're like, oh, well, shoot, we fired, and let's go ahead. So they're still walking around the house, and they go into this trophy room.
Okay.
And they're looking all around, and they're just like, oh, my God. And then you see all these trophies. It says LeBron James on it. So that's how you know it's LeBron James.
And that's the part you see kind of in the trailer a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not giving out any spoilers.
No. I'm just saying that part I remembered seeing for sure. Yeah.
So then from there, it's just like, oh, we got to throw the party here. So then they throw this elaborate party. And they are so smart because, so LeBron has a hologram.
Yeah.
Okay. And the hologram just tells him how pretty he is, how his hairline is immaculate, how his headband makes him look young, just anything and everything.
When he went to Miami, it was a great decision.
Yeah. When you went to Miami, it was a great decision. Yeah. All this stuff just to make him feel better about himself.
Yeah. You need positive affirmation.
Yeah. And I mean, who else to give it to you than yourself? So he has this hologram that tells him this. And they found an iPad. So they're just like, how do we get inside this iPad? And then they just look. And it was like, let's use a hologram. Face recognition with the hologram opens up the iPad. Now they're inviting all these celebrities
to come to their
house party.
Thinking that it's LeBron James.
For LeBron, yes, because Damon is actually putting it out like he's LeBron's
But
assistant.
don't they know that people would be like, hey, LeBron, I'm coming to your house, blah, blah, blah. Like, wouldn't they think
I guess no, because of the fact that it's the assistant reaching out. Because he's not reaching, I don't think he's reaching out directly to the celebrities.
Like, I'll see you tonight.
But no, I mean, no, it's probably like they're reaching out to the assistants,
and
the assistants are just like, yep, you got to be at this party at such and such time. But no, it's not going to,
your people talk to my people.
Yeah, that's like that. So, once they do that, they throw the big party. It's amazing. Like, it's all these celebrities, and then you have like these regular people who are just going around taking pictures with the celebrities, stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that's kind of cool. But then what happens? LeBron comes home. Of course. Because that's how you have to make the movie.
Yeah.
So once he comes home, then there's some drama, and then that's like right at the end of the movie where you start to learn like some different things. But okay, so the vibes that this gave me was like the movie Superbad.
Never watched it.
Okay, it's like the movie Superbad where it's like ridiculously funny, where it's like all this stuff could probably happen, but then it also gives you like, I don't know, like sketch comedy stuff. Like, there's a koala in the movie. Why the koala's just hanging out at the party?
Yeah.
I don't know. The koala's there throughout the whole movie. And then the koala becomes Maya's best friend. Come on, bro.
Oh, my God.
Well, not best friend, but like Maya knows is hanging out with the koala. Come on, man.
I guess it's like when you had The Hangover and there was a tiger. Right?
It gives you, it's like that kind of comedy, you know? It's like that kind of comedy.
Okay.
But it's not giving like the old house parties kind of.
So was it entertaining enough to watch?
If you want to support it, yes.
Okay.
To support it, yes. If you don't want to support it, don't watch it. You don't have to.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary for you to watch it. You could just basically. You can go on YouTube and just get a couple of like feelers out on it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's some of the top clips.
Yeah, just some of the top clips, and you got the whole movie besides the end, which I'm pretty sure you'll already be able to figure out what the end's going to be. So, but I mean, it's just a kind of movie. My expectations were a little higher. It's kind of like how everybody was talking about Coming to America 2.
Yeah.
Was garbage compared to Coming to America 1. And that's how I kind of feel like it is. Like all the House Party 1, 2, and 3s. Were like the original Coming to America, and then this is Coming to America 2.
Yeah, but I don't even think Coming to America 2 is garbage.
I don't think so. I mean, some of the storylines in it was there.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was bad. That's what I'm saying. It's just
it's going to be somebody's perspective.
Yeah, it's just but it's not something that's like, yo, you gotta go watch House Party.
And
it's
I
so
think
funny.
it would be different if, let's say, instead they made a movie where it was Kid and Play's children throwing a house party.
Yeah, that
Do you
would
see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that would have been cute.
That would have been good because then it's like,
Right.
okay, they threw the house party, so now Kid and Play's kids, so Kid and Play are the parents.
Yeah, and then
their
they're and then they
kids
could
are
be the
throwing a
celebrity
house party.
parents.
Exactly, and then that would have been more feeling
At
nostalgic.
like a river house or something, because you know all these celebrities got like houses in like Miami or something like that. And,
Yeah.
you know, they just have, a penthouse, bam, penthouse party, and then they come back. And
Right.
Find it. Yeah, that would have been great. But you know what? That's not what happened. And apparently, the director who directed it, the movie, he had only done. Which the directing of the movie was actually pretty good. Which the storyline was the thing that was.
Okay.
But the director, he actually did a lot of music videos before doing this movie. So this was his directorial debut.
Oh, okay.
Of movies. So
Yeah.
But that's what I have. It's House Party. It's on HBO Max. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
All right. What do you have, ma'am?
I have the 95th Academy Awards. I was going to say the Golden Globes, but it's not. It's the Emmy Awards. So this is the Oscars. Gosh, I'm calling it everything but what it is. So the 95th Academy Awards, which is the Oscars, it's the big one. So it's the big one at the end of all of the award season. And so basically, I'm just going to go through the highlights and then some of the not necessarily drama, but maybe a little drama. So anyway, you had lead actor in a role. So the actor in a leading role, and the nominees were Bill Nye, Paul Mescal, Colin Farrell, Austin Butler, and Brendan Fraser. And so these were things like Elvis, The Banshees of Inisherin, Living, After Sun, and The Whale. And so the winner was Brendan Fraser.
I've only seen one of those movies.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, I've only seen Elvis.
I don't think I would want to see The Whale because I feel like it's such a sad movie. I didn't want to really.
I don't know, but Brendan Fraser won, and he just pretty much bawled. He just cried so much when he got up there. And then knowing that he had so much drama in regards to the Golden Globes, and I don't know if people know, but he said that he was inappropriately touched and kind of made to feel uncomfortable by one of the male Golden Globe board execs, whatever. Yeah. And so he was like, I'll never go back to that award show. And he didn't this year, even though he was nominated in a category. And so, I think he's just all of this that has gone on to get me to this point. And he even spoke to the fact that basically high level, he was like, look, I used to be the hot, guy.
Yeah, he was.
He was
in everything.
And then that went away, and it puts things in perspective, and
Now, did it go away because of the groping thing? Is that why it went away?
I don't know. That's the thing. You don't know if it's like a Harvey Weinstein thing where he just ended his career or what, but. He said for him to come back and do The Whale, and he said that it was just an amazing experience. He really enjoyed working on that movie, and he got his Oscar from that. You had actor in a supporting role, so you had Ki Hwan Kwan, you had Brendan Gleeson, you had Brian Tyree Henry, Judd Hirsch, and Barry Keoghan, and he was with the Banshees of Inisherin, The Fabelmans, Causeway. And Brendan Gleeson. So two people were up against each other from the Banshees of Inisherin. And then you had Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And so Ki Hwan Kwan is the one who won. Yeah. And that was amazing. He just was so excitable. Because he always is. He seems like a nice, fun guy,
He seems like he's the biggest sweetheart ever. Yeah. You go to his house and he's going to take your shoes off for you or something. It's
He'll just be super nice. Let me help you. Yeah, exactly. So he's great. Actress in a leading role, you had Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, which I had never heard of before, Anna de Armas, for Blonde. Hadn't heard of that. Oh, no, that was the Marilyn Monroe story. Sorry, I forgot about that one. Yeah. Cate Blanchett for Tar, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And, of course, Michelle Yeoh won. Yes. She was amazing. She did some kind of symbol like when she won, on top of like over her head or whatever. It was like a diamond looking symbol or something.
It's
like
supposed
that.
to be the donut from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Was
the
it?
bagel.
Is it the bagel? Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
that
because
that was the symbol
Everything
she was
Everywhere
trying
All
to
at
make.
Once. I think that's what it was supposed to be.
Because her mom was watching it in Malaysia, and everybody there was doing the symbol too.
Yeah,
like
that's the only
back
thing
at
I can
her,
think of because that was in the movie.
It could be, yeah. So that was great, and she had a very great speech as well. You have actress in a supporting role, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Angela Bassett for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow for The Whale, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So that was the daughter.
Yeah,
The daughter and Jamie Lee Curtis were
Well,
against
I love her. She's such a great
so
actor.
good, and she had to be so versatile. In that
and
role.
then I've been watching her since Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I've been following her since then.
Oh,
So I
okay.
watch her on different stuff because she was so good in that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she's gonna be a really good actress.
Yeah, exactly. And so Jamie Lee Curtis won. And so she, was just very complimentary to her team. Like she's like, we won, we, mom and dad, we, production and makeup and whatever. It's all about us all together collectively won an Oscar. So that was pretty powerful. People who were haters were trying
I was about to say that drama. Oh my God.
That they were calling drama for Angela Bassett and how she reacted to Jamie Lee Curtis winning. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where I guess, you were up for this award. Probably, I think it might be the first time she was up for the actual act. Well, in a supporting role, she might have been for Waiting to Exhale or something like that. I can't remember. I know that she was up for it for the actual Oscar for Best Supporting or Best Actress with the Tina Turner, movie. What's Love Got to Do with It? So maybe she was feeling like, this might be my last shot.
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
And then,
but
I looked at her reaction. All she did was she just closed her eyes and winced a little bit, and that was it.
Yeah,
but that's more like pain for her. She's like, oh man, I didn't get it.
I was so.
But then they was saying that Carrie Condon was kind of like. Looking around like,
oh really?
Yeah, and that everybody else was like, like I should have gotten it. Like ain't nobody worried about that.
Well, ain't nobody really watched that. The Banshees of Inisherin.
I guess people have been watching it because you know what happens when it's all these every time that it's any kind of award ceremony, it's always going to be the movie that nobody really watched that gets everything, or else it's going to be the movie that everybody anticipated gets everything.
Yeah,
it's never the movie that a lot of people watch. Because they think it's a good movie, and then all the Academy and everything likes it. No, the Academy never likes movies like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, to me, I thought Jamie Lee Curtis doing that character was completely unexpected and different than what I would have ever thought would have happened. So to me, I was like, sounds fine to me, you know, but that she won. But I can get that it's painful too when you've gone through, you've put in some great work. You're not going to be in any future Wakandas. You're just trying to do what you can do, and so therefore, you just didn't get that. Yeah, where it can be,
So I'm pretty sure she's going to be in a future
blah, blah, blah.
Black Panther. She's going to have like a cameo or something. Yeah, she's going to be in there. There's no way that she can't be in there.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so for cinematography, it was Tar against Empire of Light, which I had never heard of, Elvis, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, never heard of, and All Quiet on the Western Front, and I barely had heard of that, and that one was actually the one that won. For costume design, I'll just hit the highlights now. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Ruth Carter won for costume design. She had a great speech too, because she was saying that her mom had just passed away
that week.
Yeah, that week. And she was like, my mom has joined the ancestors. And I was like, oh my gosh. And her mom was 101 years old. So she said that too. So that was, just amazing that she was there. For directing, it was Triangle of Sadness director against Tar, against The Fabelmans, against the Banshees of Inisherin, and against Everything Everywhere All at Once. And the two Daniels, that's what they call them. Daniel and Daniel, the two Daniels won. So Daniel Kwan and Daniel Sheernert. Sheernert. They won for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I guess you can just say it was a sweep of Everything Everywhere All at Once, pretty much for everything. Like poor Steven Spielberg sat there, and I don't know if the Fablemans won much of anything. And that was like his life's story. So, it is what it is. The other thing that we just had was, music. Rihanna was there because she actually was singing the song from Black Panther, "Lift Me
that
Up."
funeral song. That's what it sounds like.
It's a little slow. It's And then they had "This Is Life" from Everything Everywhere All at Once, against "Hold My Hand" from Top Gun, against "Applause," which is from "Tell It Like a Woman." I don't know what that one was. And then what I fell in love with was "Nantu Nantu" from RRR.
Oh, I love that movie. I told you all about the movie. It was it was 19 hours long. That's how long the movie felt.
I remember you
but
saying
it was so much that happened in that movie that I was just so in love with it.
Yeah, I have to now watch that because they had, for each of these, for the musical original song, they actually had like Rihanna came out and sung, and the dancers from Nantu Nantu came out there and did what they did.
And they dance hard too.
Dance so hard.
And I'm just like, how do you not break an ankle? How is your knee not popping backwards?
I thought the same thing.
How is this happening?
They are so powerful of a dance group. And they won also, so they won for the best original song. And then best picture, it felt like it was so many pictures in there, but it was you had Women Talking against Triangle of Sadness, which I had talked about a few weeks ago. Top Gun, Maverick, which I also talked about not too long ago. The Fablemans, Elvis, The Banshees of Inisherin, the Avatar movie, The Way of Water, All Quiet on the Western Front, and Everything Everywhere All at Once were the nominees for Best Picture, and Everything Everywhere All at Once won. So it's really it was truly a Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of night. You just constantly saw people from that movie going up on the stage. I think the Daniels went up there 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they should have just stayed up there in the back.
Exactly. And they were just explaining like interesting things about how they came up with the concept. Like basically Daniel Kwan, I think is his name. He was like, it's just basically what I thought of is if my mom were in Asian martial arts movie, what would that look like? And that's where I came up with the concept. And it all just went from there,
But that makes sense because if you watch it, you're like, that's literally somebody's mom in the martial arts movie.
And it's like in a multiverse. A multiverse martial arts movie. So, anywho, but that is what all of the winners are. You had visual effects for Avatar. You had sound for Top Gun. You had original screenplay was Everything Everywhere All at Once again for Daniels. So it was really good. There were some snubs that people felt didn't get recognized in the memoriam part of the Oscars. And so one of which was they were on the website, but they were not on the actual broadcast where they ended up having Lenny Kravitz singing during the memoriam.
They should have had "Lift Me Up" playing because that's all
like a funeral song.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But Paul Sorvino had passed away this past year, and you would know him from like Goodfellas and different things like that. Yeah. And so
Paulie.
Yeah, he's always
Uncle Paulie.
Mm-hmm. But he actually, people just couldn't believe that he wasn't included because he had been in over 200 films.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, how in the world do you not include? So his wife kind of went on the circuit after the Oscars to say, if you're going to have production designers and cinematographers and editors and people that people don't even know as a part of the live publication and broadcast, then why are you going to not have my husband who was in 200 films as an actor in front of the screen? Not being included. And Anne Heche, she wasn't included in the in memoriam either. They didn't include her in the live broadcast of that.
But I wonder if with the live broadcast, did they show the whole thing from beginning to end?
They said that it was for time. That was why.
I wonder if it was.
And Tony Sirico. Do you remember Tony Sirico?
I don't know. What did he?
Yeah, he was in a whole lot of stuff too, and I was surprised. If you Google him, you'll see his face, and you'll be like, "Oh my God!" Number one, I didn't know he passed away. Sirico.
Oh yeah, he's in The Sopranos. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because he always had the gray on the sides, but then the top was black with his hair. Yeah.
Exactly. So so it was people like that who had passed away that they just didn't include in the original in memoriam. So so I think that there was slight drama, that came out of that. But for the most part, I didn't watch it live. I fast forwarded through it. So,
Okay.
you watch it on Hulu and fast forward through it later. And then that way you don't have to listen to all the jokes and all the banter and everything. You can just be like, okay, who's up for the award? Who won? Fast forward. Who's up for the award? Who won? But the show itself, it flowed pretty well. Of course, they had to refer to the slap. I mean, you got to do that. And
Of
Jimmy
course.
Kimmel was the host. So, but anyway, that's what I had for number 2, the Academy Awards, the 95th Academy Awards. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
there you go. What you got?
All right. So for my next one, it's another meh, which I thought this was gonna be the one was gonna be so much better too.
Okay.
Okay. So it is The History of the World Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Watch
You
it
were
on
excited
Hulu.
about that.
Yes, it's Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is like a comedy genius.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I thought that this was going to be amazing. But then I forget, Mel Brooks is 96 years old. Maybe his mind doesn't work like it used to.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know.
So maybe that's why this show slipped a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really all of his ideas and things of that
I know
nature.
he's a narrator.
Or was it that,
He's a narrator.
Yeah, so maybe it's like other people wrote it and they just
Yeah.
had him read
Yeah,
it through some
maybe.
things. You never know. I don't
Maybe.
know how it
I don't
worked,
know.
but okay.
But it was like 82 years from the last one, or 8. Wait, I'm sorry, I said 80-something. 30-something years from the last one
Okay.
when it was done. I think it was like 37 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Years from the last one when it was done. So I'm gonna tell you this: everybody and their mama is in this, and I'm not
And
playing.
that's how it was for the first one.
I am not playing. Okay, so look, I'm just gonna say about
Yeah, say some names.
say some names. All right, so Wanda Sykes,
Yep.
Nick Kroll, Ike Barinholtz, which everybody knows. I mean, everybody knows Ike from something. He's always been on like comedy movies or whatever.
Okay.
Jay Ellis,
Okay. Yeah.
JB Smoove, Kim Whitley. You got Pamela Alden. Oh my God, you got Zazie Beetz. You got Tim Baltz, Ronnie Shang, Marla Gibbs. Marla Gibbs. She's been in a couple of things I've been seeing her recently. She was on the Miss Pat show too. Yeah, she coming back.
great.
You got Robert Kind. You have Tyler James Williams. You have Wee Man from Jackass. You have Johnny Knoxville, Jack Black, Rob Cordy. Oh my goodness, who else is in here? Jason Alexander, Tim Bagley, Darcy Carden, Jillian Bell, Danny DeVito, David Duchovny, Quinta Brunson, Josh Gad. It is everybody named Mama.
Everybody.
Blake Griffin plays Muhammad Ali. Why? I don't know, but it just worked. You got Jake Johnson. You got Anna Marie Horsford. It's so
It's everybody.
many people. You got Kumal Nanjiani. He's in it too, and he needs to calm down because he's getting to the point where he's too big. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is he getting
like
that
he is
buff
huge now,
now?
and I'm just like, bruh, you don't even have a shoulder anymore. You just go from chin to like torso.
Wow. Okay. He said, I'm trying to get more of these superhero movies, I
right.
guess. Yeah.
You got Seth Rogen, Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis.
What's his name? Taika Waititi.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
Tiki Waititi? No, it's not Tiki. I can't remember it, but
It's Takai. I think it's Takai.
Takai Waikiki or Waitiki. Yeah.
And I mean, it's just the list goes on.
It sounds like it.
It's if you were ever in a sketch show, an improv show, if you were ever in anything like that, then you were on this show. Okay. So like I said, it was kind of It's like it's kind of they beat the dead horse with a couple of different things.
Oh, okay.
You know? So like I said, so many celebrities, so many cameos. I mean, some of them just pop on there just to say something and then they leave.
And then you never see
You
him
never
again.
see them ever again.
Okay. But I wonder if it was that they anticipated these folks would do this, or is it that once people realized it was being made, they were like, "Put me in. I don't care if I got one line."
Exactly, because it's Mel Brooks. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the reason why.
Yeah.
So, so what it is a skit show that's based on historical events and characters, but it's like fiction.
Yeah.
And let me just give you a couple of things. Well, I mean, like, not all of it's fiction. Some of it is actual facts, but they ad-lib some things. So, like, it was Ulysses S. Grant during the World War in Virginia talking to Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln's like, "Hey, bro, look, no, you've been, like, drunk this entire time. Like, I haven't seen you sober. You can't drink anymore because we are ending the war right now."
Okay.
He's like, "I get that you drink. This is all what you're going through. I get it." He was like, "But we're ending the war, so I need you to be sober. And I need you to take my son with you to go and, like, get this treaty signed so we can go ahead and get this Emancipation Proclamation going." And, like, that's actually facts, but it's just the way that it was all done.
Yeah.
Fiction.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You got the countries fighting over who invented hummus.
Oh. Interesting.
And it just works because it was like Greece, Turkey.
I was thinking Greece, but yeah.
Greece, Turkey, Egypt, and everybody laughed at Egypt as soon as, like, the Egyptian, because it's like they're supposed to be like the United Nations, so they're all sitting around a table, and everyone's like, "You didn't make it." So and then everybody's talking. You got who was it? God, I can't think of the other one the other country that was, but they were just like, "This is us. What are you talking about?" Oh, Israel. Israel's like, we invented this. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Come on.
I could see any of the three.
Then,
in all actuality.
Yeah. Then it was like, Turkey was like, "I don't want to hear that. We invented this," but Palestine's in there. Like, Jordan's in there. It's so many different countries. And then Egypt's like, "We invented it. Come on, calm down." And then they're like, everybody looks at them and just start busting out laughing, like, gosh. "You didn't invent that. You invented pyramids." Like,
Egypt invented a lot of other stuff, so I wouldn't put it past them, really. But
exactly. So, I mean, I thought that was a cute little one. The Underground Railroad, that is a subway station during the Civil War.
A subway station?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like silly things like that. I mean, but it's funny-ish. Like, some of them is like, "Oh, that's hilarious," but then some of them is like, "Okay, I saw where the idea was going, but you didn't get it. You didn't get it.
A little more corny than funny."
Yeah, so, like I said, I thought it would have been better. I mean, it's still good. It's similar to, like, Drunk History, but they just ad-libbed stuff more.
Okay,
you
gotcha.
know, and I mean, the idea, the thoughts of it was, like, the best. It's so funny, where, like, certain parts are so funny that you want to keep watching it, and then some of them you're just like, okay, I don't even care about this skit. Like,
right?
Like, why? Like, they had one, Noah's Ark, and then for Noah's Ark, Noah was supposed to have gotten 2 of every animal. He gets 2 of every dog.
Okay.
Every dog breed there is, 2 of them.
So then nothing will populate outside of dogs.
And he was just like, "Come on, would you want to be, like, stuck inside with, like, birds pooping on you and a lion that could probably eat you? No, I got dogs."
Everybody loves dogs.
And then you're just like, this is the stupidest skit.
Stupid. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then they end up eating a human being. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because they didn't have any food.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Interesting.
That was whack. But it also, another thing that kind of, like, got me away from it, from, like, being really, really into it as I thought I was going to be.
Right.
Was the musical selections that they had.
Oh, we know how you feel about musicals.
God, I mean, like, I just don't like them. And then, but then it's like, I hate it because it's like, I'm watching something that I think is funny, and then it's like, well, now I have to listen to this song so I can know what's going on with the rest of the skit, and I don't want to listen to the stupid song, but I have to.
How did you deal with that with RRR? I can't remember, because they did
singing
and dancing.
They did singing and dancing. I think the dancing, because it's kind of like, because it wasn't like a storyline. It was just, they just started dancing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got you.
And singing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like part of the storyline. You can fast forward through that and just saw them dance or whatever. Okay. But that wasn't like the type like this when it's a skit comedy is like it's kind of like, what was that, somebody's playlist.
Oh, Zoe's Extraordinary
Yeah,
Playlist.
it's like that. You have to listen to the song to know what's going on with the show, and it's like, I don't want to do that. Come on.
Okay.
But other than that, without the musical things, it was still pretty good. I mean, like it was But like you can watch certain ones that are funny, like the whole one about Stalin and Putin. I'm not Putin and Vladimir Ludwig and stuff like that. They could have done away with that. That was pointless.
Need to do them. Okay,
They didn't need to do that. They did the Romanovs. He didn't need to do that.
Did you care? Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
So they did a lot of stuff that's just like, bro, like nobody even cares about this. One thing that I thought was really funny, they had Fred Armisen, right?
Yeah.
And these people are coming up to him and they're asking him a question. He's supposed to be, I guess, kind of like a gypsy.
Uh-huh.
And as he's telling them what's going on, they're like, something is said. And he's just like, okay. And he like hits something, like a stone or something. He's like, headquarters, I need to get out of here. Machu Picchu, get me out of Egypt to Machu Picchu. And I'm like, but that just fits because there are pyramids in Egypt and then there's pyramids in Machu Picchu.
Pyramids, yeah.
So it's like, he's just like, yep, let me get up out of here. If I go to Machu Picchu, I could do this all over again. And you're like, keep going.
Oh my goodness.
So I thought that was kind of
some
cute.
of them were funny.
Some of them were funny and
like
cute.
that.
Some of them were quirky, but some of them are just like, you can stop.
Yeah.
It's
just different humor for different people, I guess. Go figure.
Exactly. But yes, if you do want to watch it, it is History of the World Part 2.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I have next The Last of Us. And I feel like I am behind on The Last of Us because it is the last episode actually already happened for the season, and I just started watching it.
I haven't started watching it yet.
Yeah, I've been hearing people talk about it for a while, and it's like an apocalyptic show, and so people were like, oh, it's got different vibes of different things in there. For me, it feels like a vibe of The Walking Dead meets Black Summer.
I don't think I've seen Black Summer.
Black Summer is the one where there's a zombie apocalypse or something going on, and they'll bite you, but they run after you like wild maniacs. Like in The Walking Dead, they're super slow.
That's because, but in The Walking Dead, haven't they been on Earth for like? Haven't they been there
even
for
from the
a while?
beginning.
Okay.
From the beginning, they just normally walked. They never
But
ran.
it's also based on a video game, right?
Which one?
This.
I believe I did hear that.
Yeah, it's
I
based on
think
a
I did
video
hear
game.
that.
So I mean,
And so on this one though, it's like something happens, and then all of a sudden they're like running after you like maniacs, trying to get you, and you're just like, oh my god, I gotta take off, and they're fast. So anyway, The Last of Us, it's on HBO, and I just wanted to kind of cover the show in general. Basically, it starts off with a young girl. She's waking up. It's her father's birthday. She's making him breakfast. She's heading to school. She's in school. She realizes that she wanted to get an old watch of his fixed and with a new battery in it so that way she can give it to him as a gift. And as she's looking for the watch, all of a sudden she hears all these sirens and fire trucks and stuff going on, out in the streets. And she's like, okay. The wife of the shop owner is like, you need to go. Head out now, whatever. She barely even, I don't even know if she paid for the watch because the woman was like, we're closed, we're shutting up shop, whatever. So the woman must have heard something was going on. So the girl's just walking out. All of a sudden, jets are flying overhead. Like all this commotion is going on. And she's looking like, okay.
Yeah.
So then she decides she goes to a neighbor's house. They make some cookies. It's an older lady. And it's so weird that in this one scene, the lady is like, oh, I'm going to go get everything together so we can make these cookies. And the young girl is actually standing like looking at a bookshelf or something like that, and so she's not paying attention to the lady's mom is in a wheelchair behind her. So she's looking at this bookshelf, and you see her in the
I can already see what's going to be creepily happening.
But you see, no, it's not what you quite think at this moment. So then you see the old lady in the back, and all of a sudden she has been like catatonic the entire time, right? But then all of a sudden, as the girl is looking at like DVDs or something like that, you see the old lady in the back starting to slowly move a little bit, and then she's like opening her mouth like she's yawning, but it's not really a yawning. It's like one of those weird, like when
like
your
you're trying
mouth
to pop your
opens and,
jaw
like,
type thing.
Yeah, like a strange movement, and you're just like, okay. So then the girl walks into the kitchen with the lady. They make the cookies. Nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. You don't see anything else happening with the old lady, and they still had the old lady like, how when they show you up close, what's in the back is kind of
faded
like
out.
You can't really see it. So they never zoomed in on the old lady. They were like, if you're paying attention, you'll see this happen, you know? And so the girl leaves, goes home. She's like, my dad will be home soon. He actually didn't get home until really late. And so she gives him his watch and all of this. This is all first episode. And then, he gets a call from his brother as they're watching one of the ladies' DVD movies, because the girl fell asleep. Her father puts her in the bed. His brother had called and said that he was in jail and he needed to get out. Like, seriously, dude, I need to get out of here, because I think some of the zombiness was starting to happen, you know, in the jail. So he was like, I need you to get me out. So next thing you know, the girl wakes up because it's like transformers are blowing up and different thing is happening, and lights and helicopters and still fired up.
It's like all this engine, you don't know what's happening
going on. And so she ends up looking at in her father's room. He's not there. She didn't know that he had left to go get his brother out of the jail. So she goes to check on the neighbor. And she's like, what is going on, Dad? So she's like, walks across, you know, to go see the neighbor. When she gets to the neighbor's house, before she even gets there, the neighbor's dog is at her house. Like, hey, help. What's going on? Like, oh my God. So she's like, okay, let me take you back home. That dog was like, heck,
I'm not going back home.
To the no. I am not going back to that house. I have seen some things. And that dog bolts off. And that should be your cue.
Oh, absolutely. The animals are always the first to know.
Maybe I shouldn't go back to this house. So anyway, so she goes to the neighbor's house. And at the neighbor's house, let's just say some mayhem has taken place with Granny.
I figured that much.
You figured it would happen. I thought it would have happened earlier while the girl was there, but they made it kind of come in a little bit later, so that was different than what you expect. And a lot of things in this were different than what I expected. I will say that so far, and I'm only like 3-4 episodes.
But that's good though, because in that way you're not your expectation is always not going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different point of view.
Right.
So I do like
exactly.
that.
So now that I've seen that some things are different, I'm not thinking, oh, I know where this is going to go.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want, because I hate that. I hate watching a movie. I'm like, I already know what the end's going to be. Let's just fast forward through this so we can get to the end.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening is that she takes off running when she sees the old lady and gets outside. Now her father's pulled up in the truck with the uncle too, so his brother, and they've got guns, and she's like, what the heck is happening? So then they actually like smash the old lady over the head, and then, you know, she's like, I have no clue of what's going on. Like, because she had literally just woke up. Like, she went to bed, everything was normal. She heard some stuff, but still, now she's waking up and they're killing old ladies in the street. You know, like, what is happening, you know? And so she jumps in the truck, and then the father and uncle try to just tell her, like, hey, there's something going on. You know, people are turning into these, like, zombie kind of thing. Like, something is happening. And so all of a sudden, you're still seeing Transformers blow up. You see neighbors who are out there like, hey, what's going on? They're like, get in the house. Just get in your house. Let's lock your doors. Like, stay in your house, you know? And so then you just see all this stuff happening. And what they kind of breaks down to is that if you were in the major metropolitan city, that is where the virus, quote unquote, kind of started, is in the city. So because that lady, the neighbor, had taken her mom into the city for doctor's appointments, the mom somehow got infected with this virus. Because you didn't have to die to turn like you do in The Walking Dead. It was just people, just normal every day. And then all of a sudden, you know, things were happening. If you get bit, of course, that does something to you as well. And so, so the story just kind of takes over from there. They're going down different streets. They're trying to get out of the way. They're trying to not get into the city, though. And then you just see people just starting to try to run and swarm their car. And then because of the fact that the government doesn't want anybody to kind of outside of certain areas and pockets, they're just bombing, exactly, like, you know, so then...
That was kind of like, what was that movie that I watched, Army of the Dead? When there was everything was in Vegas. And those zombies were fast too. Yeah, so that does make sense. Okay, I got you,
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, it's just crazy how they just unfold so quickly. And again, all I'm talking about is the first episode.
Yeah, you're talking about first episode.
Only the first episode.
That's what catches you.
Yep, exactly. And so there's scenarios in which the father and his brother get separated. Him and his daughter are together. There's police everywhere. Well, not even police. I guess you would say the military. And they aren't playing. Like, if you are around, they're like, maybe you're infected, maybe you're not. People are like, I'm not bitten. But it doesn't mean they're still not going to kill you. Because they're like, you've been exposed at least, so let's go ahead and, you know, take you out too. So they were trying to contain it. And then the only other thing I have seen is that it's like a jump to years later. And then it's like, what does the world look like after all all of this has settled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kind of like how The Walking Dead is, where
it's like everything's all overgrown.
Yep, exactly. And now it's like, okay, yep, things are overgrown. You might not have electricity, or you might not have, a good
running water.
infrastructure. Yeah, well, there's certain things that they actually do have, surprisingly enough. But yeah, there are some things that are just different. And then where does the story go from there? There's a young girl who, for some reason, they're all like, and I mean, I know the reason, I won't say the reason, but they're just like, she's important and she needs to get to a certain place, And so the storyline is, how do you get this super important girl, which, the main character is like, oh, were you a political figure's daughter or something like that? And she's like, maybe, So, and she's the young girl who played on Game of Thrones.
Oh, yes. Lady Momont.
Yes, Lady Momont. I couldn't remember her name.
Lyanna Momont.
Yes. So she played on there, and she was feisty on
there.
Yeah,
because she was the queen,
She
bro.
was the queen
she
at
was,
like 10
she was
or 11 years old, right? So she
was like, I stand with him, the king in the north.
The king of the north, And then she started that wave, So, but yeah, so she's in here, and she's really good and still as powerful and takes no mess as she was before.
Yeah, I can see that,
Yeah, like she walks around with a knife consistently.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, so but it's been really good. Like I said, I'm not far enough along into it. I know I'm late and behind, but I have really been enjoying it. It's not necessarily slow, because you got all the zombie stuff going on, but it has like dips, like slow dips, but then it gets back into some action, and it's stressful because if you're used to watching slow walking zombies, to then have a swarm,
you got a whole bunch of Flojos running after you.
And the thing is that with this virus, and this is the other thing it reminded me of, the strain. Mm-hmm. Remember the strain?
Yeah, the strain, yeah.
So it's like little squirrely things that, whatever. So it's some of that along with the Black Summer, along with the Walking Dead. So it's a mixture of all those things. And so, for example, with the strain part, what got me was you could step on, like, say if you saw because they like have this thing and tentacles and stuff like that, but like say you kill one and then something comes out of them and you accidentally hit against it or step against it or whatever, it doesn't get into your skin like on the strain,
but it just still gets you.
It wakes everybody who's connected to that strain of the virus. So if I had this strain of the virus, and then you step or do something to my strain, then all of a sudden you might be in a house 3 miles away, but all these other zombies now wake up and they know exactly where you are.
Oh, heck no.
And they can come out.
Because they're going to the thing that you just killed.
Yep.
Screw that.
Well, and it's not that you just killed it, because I think you can kill things. And again, I'm early on. I think you can kill things and it still won't connect it, but it's almost like if it's that piece of it that gets awakened somehow, that's what ends up waking up everybody
else. Something
else.
like its brain or something like that.
It's something strange with it. So I think I'm too early into the show to get the full understanding of it, but it is scary that, because then all of a sudden, all of these zombies just started swarming toward exactly where they were. And it's like, ugh. Why did we do that? You didn't mean to do it. But yeah, so anyway, so that is The Last of Us. It's on HBO. It's about 9 or 10 episodes. And like I said, the season just ended last week. So, well, depending on when you listen to this. And so you would be able to binge it all if you'd like to. But it could be too dark for people to binge.
How do they like hour episodes, right?
Yeah, hour episodes. Oh wait, nope. The first episode, I swear, it was like an hour and 30 minutes. It was like a movie.
That makes sense because it has to set up everything. And you just told us what happened in the first part, and it's like that's a lot.
That
is a lot.
So that is So it was a long first episode, and then after that, I think everything.
I feel like HBO does that.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones, they would just throw a long one in there sometimes, and so. But so that's what I had next. What you got, sis?
All right, so for my last one, I have Shrinking.
Okay.
The TV show from Apple TV. Apple TV they got some bangers out there, okay? Apple TV can't sleep on them, but then some of them are garbage, like Roar. Roar was not good.
Not good.
But anyway. Okay, so Shrinking.
Yes.
This is the one, the cast, this has Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah.
And Jason Segel. Mm-hmm. You have Jessica Williams. You have Luke Tenney. Lukita Maxwell. Christina Miller, which I love her. She's so funny.
Okay.
And then Ted McGinley. So, this is I like it. It's funny, and it's the first episode. You're like, what exactly is happening? Because it's a lot happening in the first episode. So in the beginning of the show, you're like, you know nothing about the main character, which is Jason Segel's part. Right?
Okay.
So you know nothing about him, and then you see him, and he's at a pool with two girls that are butt naked in the pool, and he has a whole bunch of drugs on his like table outside.
Okay.
And then his neighbor comes up, who when she comes up to him, she's just like, well, she comes up to the fence. She's like, hey, it's a little loud. He was like, oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't know. Like, I'll keep it down. Hey, guys, we got to keep it down, guys. We got to keep it down. So you're just like, who is this guy who is on all these drugs?
Yeah.
What is happening? Then she's asking, like, where is, what's her name? She's like, where is Alice? And he was like, oh, Alice is upstairs sleeping. So I'm like, is that the wife? Like, the wife is upstairs sleep because, like, y'all are all partied out or whatever?
Yeah.
Then you realize he goes to sleep, wakes up the next day. Well, I don't even know if he goes to sleep, but the next day, he is getting ready, and Alice is actually his daughter.
Oh.
So his daughter was, like, upstairs in her room while her dad's, like, having a drug binger and hanging out with two girls that are probably prostitutes.
Oh, goodness.
So you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
This person definitely needs a shrink. Like, and then you come to find out he is the shrink. He goes to work, and he works for Harrison Ford.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So Harrison Ford's character's name is Paul. Jimmy is Jason Segel's character, and then you have Gabby, who is another one of their colleagues. And then, like I said, Alice is the daughter, Liz is the neighbor, and Derek is the neighbor. So, I mean, like, you do have these people. And then you also have Sean. Sean is going to be coming into play later. But I'll just give you a little bit of hint about that, too. So what ends up happening is that now that he's gone through this, like, you find out that he's a shrink. And then you also find out that he's having all these benders and everything because of the fact that he just lost his wife.
Okay.
And him losing his wife was the most devastating thing because he was like, I've never been in love. Like, I've been in love with her. He was like, she was the best person in the world. Everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
I don't even talk to people. Like, why don't even look at me? He was like that kind of person. But once he lost, like, once she passed, then he started to spiral. But once he spiraled, he's like trying to get his life back because of his daughter. But his daughter's already like, bro,
Yeah,
you gotten on my nerves.
Yeah.
I'm done with you. Like, don't forget, she was your wife, but she was my mother, and you're still my father. So you should still be there for me instead of you like doing whatever doing what you want to do, like, and just not trying to see if I need help, not trying to like be there for me. She's like, so I'm kind of like whatever. I resent you, whatever. So so now he has all these different cases. Now Gabby, his coworker, his colleague, was like, hey, can you take this case for me? Because like I got to run and do something. It's really easy. Ex-military, just beats the crap out of people. And he's like, that's not easy, Gabby. That is nowhere near easy.
Yeah.
Gets this kid, starts talking to this kid. He's going through the kid's file. The kid's like sitting in his office. He's going through his file. And he's just like, wait, you're not even my shrink I was supposed to have. He was like, yeah, no, like, it got tossed around. Like, things came up last minute, so now I have you. He just like, and the guy, Sean, is sitting there. He's just like, you didn't even want me. Like, you don't, like, why am I even here? Like, come on, can I just go? He's just, wait. All right, tell me about what happened. So then the guy, Sean just explained about how he has anger issues.
Okay.
He's like how, basically from the military, he was in the military. They were just like, hey, go kill.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. So now he's like, all his anger that he has now, he doesn't know how to just be a regular human being because he's been a killer for the Marines or whatever for so long. So
this one killing people on the street.
Yeah. So this one guy said something to him, and he beat the guy within inches of his life.
Lord. Oh, no.
So that's why he has to go to like anger management and all this other stuff. So as he's telling him this, he what's his name? Jimmy's character is like, okay, so tell me this. What is it that you feel like you have to feel? Like, what is it that you need to feel? And he was just like, I need to get this anger out, but I still need some, like, I need a fight. I need a fight, back and forth fight.
Okay.
Jimmy says, all right, come on, get your coat. Come on, let's go. And he's like, I don't think you're supposed to be taking me out of the office. He's like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing a lot of things I'm doing. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
get him, take him to a place. They're at an MMA.
I was going to say to fight in
gym.
box or do something, yeah.
MMA gym. So what does he do? He's just like, hey, all right, so what you're going to do is you're going to spar with this guy. Hey, go easy on him or don't, whatever you want to do. And then they start fighting. And then after that, he's like, how do you feel? He's just like, I feel really good. He was like, I like this. Like, this is changing my anger so much. He was like, because now it's a fight back. That's like, because I guess the people that he was dealing with before were just like, just regular people, not MMA fighters that are trained.
Right.
Now he's a good fighter who's fighting MMA fighters, so now he's getting his butt kicked too.
Yeah.
So it's like that little back and forth, give and
take.
Give and take. Yes, I would say give and get.
Give and take. Yeah.
So then from there, some other things happen, but the kid Sean ends up moving in and staying with them.
Oh.
Now, this is the issue. Jimmy is so, like, not the ordinary type of shrink. Like, he told one girl that kept, like, and she's actually from SNL, and she's very funny. She's the one with, like, the puffy cheeks. What was her name?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of her name. Oh, Heidi Gardner.
Heidi, yeah.
Yeah. So she just keeps talking about how much of her boyfriend is a POS and all this other stuff. And as she's saying this, he's just like, okay, all right. Can you just leave him? Just leave him. Just leave him. Just leave him.
Which a psychiatrist isn't supposed to do.
And then she's like, okay. But then some other stuff happens with that. That's a whole nother storyline. But everything that he's doing is so unorthodox.
Yeah.
And now what's happening is that some of the clients are coming back and like, he's like, what happened to your client right there? Like, what happened? Like, why is his nose bleeding? He was like, oh, no, we just had a really good session. He was like, are you beating these people?
Beating your clients?
He's like, no, I'm not beating them. Just like, everything's good. But now Paul, Harrison Ford's character, is like, I don't like you, kid. I do not like you. You're going to be the death of me.
Oh, goodness.
I can already see this. Like, he's like, you want to have my love and appreciation so much, but you just get on my nerves so much. Like, I don't even want to be around you. So then from there, he has this guy who's just like, the guy has an issue with his mother. He can't let go of his mother. His mother died. His mother had his mother ashes. He can't get rid of, like, he's so stuck behind with his mother being, like, I guess still alive or whatever. So he has, like, a little issue with that. He's helping him with that. Like, he's helping people with stuff where it's like, bro, you should not be saying that. You should not be doing that. But you're doing it anyway. But okay. So once he has this young kid moving to the house, he also has a 17-year-old daughter. So then that's going to be a thing because Sean is 22. And the girl's 17. And what does a 17-year-old girl do? She gets a crush on the 22-year-old black guy who lives in the basement.
Got it.
So there's a little storyline with that. Also, there's a storyline between Gabby and Jimmy's relationship as them being colleagues, which she was also his wife Tia's best friend. So it's like a whole storyline there. The storyline, which is the funniest and the cutest, is Harrison Ford, Paul. His storyline that he has with Alice, where Alice is just like, I guess he's like a grandpa to her, but he's also like being her shrink at the same time. He's just like, look, I just come to hang out with you to make sure you're good because I know your dad's not going to do it because he's a POS. And then you see, like, it's just the little back and forth that they have within each other. He got him to get fun. She gave him some fun dip, and he thought it was the best thing in the world. And now he can't stop eating fun dip because you get to eat the stick and the powder at the same time. Sugar high, he loves it.
That's wonderful.
But they have this little going back and forth talking. But the thing is that nobody talks to Alice as she is a child. It's not like back in the day when people used to talk to you like you didn't know anything. They're actually talking to her as she is a grown person when she's not, but she's coming into her own. Right. So that's a good thing that I do like about that. Okay. But I would definitely say watch this. This is a Ted Lasso kind of thing. And actually, I think it's from the producers and writers of Ted Lasso. I believe it is.
Oh, yeah, possibly so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's on
I
that.
did see that.
Yeah, it's on that kind of like wavelength, but it's just really good. There are 9 episodes that are available now. Next weekend, I think it's going to be the 10th episode and the last episode.
Okay.
So, and they're like an hour long, but they are so good. And then Harrison Ford has some things that he has going on with his daughter, and Gabby has some things going on with like some guys that she's dating and stuff like this. So it's a lot of different characters that you get information about them, as well as just the main character of having Jimmy being the main character and his daughter Alice. So I think it's the cutest thing, and it's so relatable. I feel like when it comes to a lot of people with like family stuff, and having a spouse that passed away or a parent that passed away.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? How do people around you come in and try to like help you deal with it, and are still there for you? They're not just fake people who are there for the week and then they're gone. Like things like that. So, but check it out. That is definitely a check out. Okay.
That's
Shrinking.
one that's to watch. Okay.
That's the one to watch. Shrinking on Apple TV.
All right. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
And my last
what's your last one?
And these are just honorable mentions, so this is going to be quick, and then we'll be wrapping it up. But for the most part, wanted to make sure everybody knew that Ted Lasso season 3 has dropped.
Yes.
And actually dropped a day early.
Yeah, I watched the episode this morning.
So people were extremely excited about the fact that it dropped. I think it was March 15th, I want to say, was the first episode. And they are just doing one at a time. So, you got to just be patient.
Yeah, no, I hate that, man. You know what? This is one thing that I would say about streaming services. They spoil you because they drop it all at the same time. And then they want to go back to the old ways of once a week.
But no,
who
it's
does
not
that?
every streaming service
I
does
know,
it all
but
at
I mean,
one time.
still.
It was Netflix that chose to do it all at one
But
time. But
still.
HBO never did it that way. Apple TV never did it that way. Hulu never did it that way. So Netflix has spoiled
Netflix
people.
has spoiled the world.
Yes,
and now
exactly.
the world needs everything dropped at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to also say that for Poker Face, they had their season finale. I believe it's picked up for a second season. And a lot of people were like, okay, she started on this journey in episode 1, and then we just went down a crazy rabbit hole for the rest of the season. And when is it getting back to the real storyline? Well, it did wrap up its season with getting back to the original storyline.
Which is good.
And that was insane.
Oh, really?
I mean, it was just one of those things that you thought it was going to go down one path. It goes down a completely different path.
See,
and
I like shows like that.
Yep, and it set it up for a season 2. So that I really enjoyed. The other thing I was going to say is YellowJackets, which we've talked about in the past. That second season starts on March 26th.
Yes.
So that's exciting to watch that. I believe that's on Showtime. And then the Luther movie actually came out as well on Netflix, and that is called The Fallen Sun, 2 hours and 9 minutes.
Now, so what I've seen is like clips of him talking, and he's saying that how they did it was that you didn't have to watch the Luther TV show in order to watch the movie.
Yeah, and I haven't watched any of that. I haven't watched Ted Lasso yet. I've watched Poker Face. Yeah. Of course, YellowJackets hasn't come out yet, but Luther I haven't watched. But I've heard people who have watched it, and everybody who knows that I watch Luther, who has watched it, has been like, have you watched Luther yet? I want to know what you think about it. Okay. So I don't know. They're not telling me, is it, I want to know what you think about it because I thought it was good, or I wanted to know what you think about it because I thought it was bad. But they're just like, I just want to know what you thought about it. And plus, they know I love Idris.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a whole other topic. So anyway, y'all, that is it for this week's episode of Sestra-Tainment. We hope everybody has a wonderful week and day. And if you are interested in any of these shows, by all means, follow us on www.sestra-tainment.com. All right, everybody, take care.
Bye.